Hey team, it's Chris Torres here, your little diamond leader in the business. Guys, today I kind of wanted to talk about keeping it simple, keeping the business simple. I know we talk about this a lot, and I know you guys have heard that a lot, but what does it actually mean to keep the business simple? Well, I'm going to talk about 3 points that I want you guys to actually not necessarily write down, but keep in your head moving forward through the rest of this challenge for those of you that are actually competing with this challenge. So first things first, guys, if you're not having growth, why are you not having growth, and what can we do to make that growth happen and to create momentum basically out of thin air? What can we do? Number 2 is what I learned today, actually. I'll go into a little story that I just talked to a professor that teaches a presentations class here at University of Oregon about 30 minutes ago. I'm going to go into what I learned from him, presenting your story. And number 3, guys, very important. Again, sounds redundant, but it's important. That's why we are drilling this into your head. Reading GoPro. Staying consistent about it, and what aspects of GoPro we should all focus on. Okay, so number 1, a lot of us aren't having growth. And that's not just our team. Everybody goes through stages, guys. That's network marketing, that's the industry, that's business in general. But why we're not having growth is, like I said, very simple, people. The number 1 thing is we need to do less talking and start acting more. And I'm not saying that telling you guys as a manager, I'm not sitting here saying go act, go act, go act, go act, fire, 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 like Casey Holiday always says. It's true, but what I'm trying to say is, as myself as well as a leader, I'm trying to do the same thing myself. So, for example, I talked about prospecting. I'd be telling people how to prospect. I'd be giving advice on how to prospect in the past, but at the time I wasn't prospecting. So lately what I've been doing is, instead of thinking about it and personal developing and sitting there in your room dreaming about what could happen or the outcome, it's not going to get you anywhere until you go out there and actually do it. And I promise you guys, the best way to learn anything, again, keeping it simple, you've heard this before, is going out and practicing it. Pretty easy. The more that you get comfortable challenging yourself and putting yourself out there and actually talking to people, and don't be afraid of messing up and actually just going out and doing it, you're going to notice how much better you become at whatever task you're trying to become better at, whatever skill you want to have, and it's going to become more comfortable and second nature to you, so that the people that you're presenting the story to, or the people that you're explaining Vemma to, or whatever you're doing, they're gonna want to listen, because they're gonna trust your opinion. They're gonna feel comfortable talking with you. So on top of that, guys, very, very important, very key to stay plugged in and staying consistent. All right. Again, I need to work on it. I can always get better. We can always get better. Even all the leaders, Derek Alexander, okay, John Harrington, Casey Holiday. We can always get better at improving ourselves. So staying plugged in means stay connected to Facebook. I hate Facebook, I'll admit it. I do not like Facebook, period. I think it's stupid. But I'm going to keep it because it's important. That's how a lot of our generation communicates. And I definitely stay communicated with most people in Vemma and with other organizations I'm a part of through Facebook. So I need to stay connected on that. And also just staying consistent, guys, with prospecting, number 1, with reading, personal developing yourself, number 2, staying in consistent communication with your team. You'll notice when you have a dropout, and everyone has them, where you start to self-doubt because you step away from Vemma for a little bit. You take a couple of days off. Take a couple of days not communicating with your upline. Take a couple of days not communicating with your downline. And what happens, your faith and your belief system kind of goes down the drain a little bit. Maybe not fully, but at least a little bit. So stay plugged in, stay consistent. And lastly, if you're not having growth, this may be why, guys, we're not telling our story enough. Again, because I'm not doing it enough either. What I've been focused on lately is going out and just finding opportunities to bring up my story. And you guys notice a lot of people say, I'm going to go out today and cold prospect. You don't need to cold prospect. Even if your warm market's a little shot, go out, make some new relationships, build some new friendships with people, actually sincerely and genuinely go out and want to meet with people. And you'll notice the more that you communicate with people in your daily life, you'll find opportunities to present the opportunity and tell your story about Vemma. And who knows, you might find somebody that's very, very interested and needs this very much. So next step, guys, is what I learned today. So my story is I went and talked with one of my professors. He's a great man named Mark Lewis. Basically, he's gotten paid for the past 30-plus years for telling stories and using his voice. He's been on several TV shows, done lots of commercials. And it's actually a funny thing, he's actually been on 3 different voices on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride in Disneyland, which is pretty crazy. Sat down with him, gave my story to him about Vemma, and the biggest thing that I took away from him, the biggest thing he wanted me to focus on, is the fact that a lot of the time we get so excited, you guys might feel the same way, I get so passionate about Vemma and so excited about it that I push people. Not that I'm pushing them to buy anything, because I never do that, but I push them, the way Mark explained it is, you got to treat your prospect and the conversation almost like a heartbeat. Okay, you can't be leaning in and just yelling at them the entire time and being really intense the whole time, because as a heart, it's going to pound and pound and pound, and they'll probably pass out and die if your heart rate's just going out of control. So give it time to sink in. Let things relax. Let the flow of the conversation, because it is a conversation. It's not a one-way street. It is a conversation. Let the flow kind of develop itself. And when the important aspects come, when you're explaining the importance of why you love Vemma, the importance of where you're going with this, the importance of where Vemma is going in the future, that's when you can dial in. But after dial in, take a step back. Take a breath. Good thing to do in a conversation is ask them, hey, how am I doing? What are you feeling right now? How are you doing? Do you have any questions as of right now? Okay, no, perfect, and boom, go back into it. Guys, we need to take our more time having a conversation. Mind you, it's different when you do a presentation at a home event, but personal communication between somebody, a single prospect, 1, 2, maybe 3 prospects, it's very, very easy to get too passionate, too excited, and it kind of wears on them. So, last thing, guys, very important, don't take this for granted. We need to focus on GoPro, all right? I know you've heard that a lot, but I'm here to literally edify GoPro. It is fantastic. Why? Eric Worre is a stud network marketer. Believe that network marketing is a professional, meaning he could take any business, it doesn't matter what company it is, and he can make it flourish because he is that damn good at what he does. So guys, what we need to do is read and study and treat GoPro almost like it's scripture, guys. Like, wake up with GoPro. Go to bed with a chapter of GoPro. Listen to GoPro on your iPhone or on your iPod, on your Zoom. Listen to it all the time. Be focused and learning about GoPro. And don't just go through it one time. I have a lot of people, I used to be the same way, when they say, oh, I've read GoPro once or twice. Yeah, I got it. No, because I noticed for me, when I read GoPro 3 times in a week, I thought I understood everything there was to know about it, and I'd go out, talk to my friend John or Casey or somebody, or be in a prospecting situation where, oh, how did the GoPro go? What do I got to say here? What would Eric Worre do? And I didn't remember. So why is because it's not drilled into my subconscious. The only way to do that is to repeat it day in and day out. So let's focus on GoPro, and more importantly, focus on, if you're to do anything, focus on the follow-up method, because guys, the proof is in the follow-up, the money is in the follow-up, is what Eric Worre says. It's really true that you need to go in, focus on following up well. And what that means is, yeah, you get them to a home event, congratulations, that's great, that's their first exposure. Now follow up with them, and follow up with them when you tell them that you will. Be a professional about it. And by following up, don't say, hey, what do you think about it? Don't say, hey, you ready to get started? Ask them questions to see ask them what they like the most about it, and start to ask them questions to figure out what they want to know more about so that can set up the next exposure, because every exposure should be setting up the next exposure. And you'll notice with time that as you farm prospects instead of trying to shoot them down and hunt them, you'll get a better relationship with them. They'll trust you more, and they'll trust this opportunity a lot more. And at the end of the day, when they sign up, they will understand their why a lot deeper, just as well as you will. So that being said, guys, to sum things up, one more time, if you're not having growth, go through this video, check those reasons out why, all right? Number 2, focus on what I learned today from my professor, okay? Don't be so excited that you freak people out, right? Because I think we can do that a lot of the time. Take some time to get people to understand and communicate this better. And also read GoPro more consistently. People, the future is bright with this team, and I know every single one of my leaders in this organization can make this happen, and we will make this happen with time. So stay consistent, keep the faith, and let's keep grinding, guys.
Let's freaking go!